Welcome back, everybody. You're here with Alex and Randy. Walk it off, talk it off. Episode 6. We've really been doing this for 6 whole weeks now. That's pretty impressive. So we got a lot on, actually not a lot on the docket, a little bit on the docket today. Not too many injuries, not too many big stories, which is a good thing. Last couple episodes, we had a lot of stuff with domestic violence and guys getting arrested and getting in trouble and stuff like that. Sexual assault cases, Mickey Callaway, etc. So not any of that this week, which is good. Might be a shorter episode, but we're gonna have some fun and let's get into it.
Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken. You're so fake. Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken. You're so fake. I put holes in NY on.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Kind of a boring week here as far as news goes. We have some injuries we're gonna talk about, but I'm here. The weather's a lot nicer this weekend. In our part of Jersey, can't beat it. It's like high 80s. Yesterday, even snuck in a beach trip. We went out to a Long Branch beach and spent most of the day out there. It was beautiful, perfect beach day, little breeze. Made me reminisce our LBI trips, Alex.
Yeah, most definitely. It's not too bad. It's gonna be humid though, so that's gonna suck. But if you got a pool, better be hopping in there.
Yeah, perfect pool weather. Unfortunately, I can't afford a pool.
Yeah. Yeah, no. It's been nice out though. It's good weekends. Bad weekend for the Yankees. Bad every day for the Yankees. We can talk more about that later. Just a little sneak peek.
Yeah.
Some good series though. Doing the recaps, some good series. We got some upsets, at least in the late week series. So that was a lot of fun. Before we get going though, I do want to give a shout out to the athletic department at Longwood University. I applied for a job there and was in one of their shortlist piles, and they saw the podcast on the resume and watched it. And lady reached out to me, Katie Pate, and she called me and was like, "Hey, just listen to your podcast, and just wanted to talk to me and get to know me and everything like that." So that was cool. People are listening. So just wanted to shout out to Longwood University. We appreciate that. Randy and I are both clowns, so I'm glad you guys got a kick out of that. I know they like to have fun down there. So if you're looking into going into schools or anything like that, depending on how old you are, Longwood University is down in Farmville, Virginia, real nice area. They're a real good education school, good athletic programs. So take a look at them for sure. But if we can get going, get right into it with the series. If you got anything else you want to talk about or no?
I just wanted to say thank you out to Longwood as well, and thank you, Katie. When Alex referred the message to me, it put a smile on my face, and a lot of our followers and the people who follow us now and listen to our family and friends. So it's always nice to hear from kind of like a outlying source that other people are listening. A lot of times we see the views on YouTube, Spotify, whatnot, but we don't know who's listening. So it's good to actually hear from someone who we don't personally know. But yeah, that it put a smile on both of our faces, and it's little things like that encourage us to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. I really just couldn't believe that people listen to this, garbage that we put out. So, but
two clowns who, like we've said in the past, if we weren't doing this podcast, I'd probably be texting you back and forth the same shit we're saying each week, because we just have a passion for it, and
exactly.
We're goofy dudes. We like to have fun, but we love talking baseball, and we love being able to entertain you guys.
Absolutely. And with that being said, I'm going to jump right in. We'll get the American League early week series going. And to start it off, we're going to go with the Twins and the Orioles. The O's turn on a little bit, take 2 out of 3 from the Twins as they battle. Two bottom tier teams is as boring as it gets. However, game one's a close one. Twins win it in 10 innings thanks to a wild pitch and a Jorge Polanco solo shot. Orioles take the final 2 games. They have a big third inning in game 2, putting up 4 runs, getting production from Mancini, Galvis, DJ Stewart, and Ryan Mountcastle, who's kind of turning on. Good for the O's as they win a series. I think it was this series that Mountcastle hit a homer and it hit a fan in the face. I don't know if it was this series. It might have been the current one that they're in right now, but hit a fan in the face. The fan, got a mark, bleeding and everything, hit him in right above the eye, I think. And he sent a DM to Mountcastle on Instagram saying like, yo, this is, I'm the guy that you hit in the face with your home run or whatever. And Mountcastle got back to him and said, hey, sorry about that. My bad, bro. He's like, let me know when you're in town again. I'll get you a bat or something like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Mountcastle's hit a couple home runs his last few games. So good for him. O's got a bright young future. Mancini could be dealt with the deadline, however, but, we'll see. Moving on from that, Yankees Rays. Yankees season is still completely over, and you'll see that as a continuing trend. Although they split a 4-game set with their kryptonite, the Austin Meadows-led Tampa Bay Rays, as he hits 3 homers. Having watched this series firsthand, I'm unsure how the Yankees won 2 games. Here's to terrible baseball and the still first-place Rays. I'll drink to that. Also, MLB's going to crack down on their sticky stuff situation, giving out suspensions. They announced the pitchers, and Garrett Cole, his first start after that, his RPMs were at an all-time low for his last, I think, dating back to 2017. Something to keep an eye on there. White Sox versus Indians. Indians and White Sox were slated to play 4, but got rained out Wednesday. First 2 games were played Monday as part of a doubleheader, where the team split as Karinchak gets lit up in extras in Game 1 to blow the game, as the White Sox win that one. Game 2 was Bieber versus Cease. That's a good matchup right there. Or Game 3, sorry, was a good matchup there. Cease got pounded, 6 earned and 3 1/3 innings. Bieber only K'd 7, and the Indians win 6-5, take the series to keep up with the White Sox, who are still in first place. Speaking of first place, Red Sox Astros. Astros went for a 4-game sweep on Thursday of the Red Sox, but the Red Sox were not having it as they salvaged the last game of the series 5-1. The Astros offense exploded for 11 runs in Game 1. Luis Garcia, remember that name, continues his campaign for an all-star appearance as he goes 7, gives up 1, strikes out 6 in Game 2. Astros are good now. Everybody's got to deal with it. But Martin Perez helped. He's been the ace for that team this year, the Red Sox, that is. And he helped them get a win in Game 4. Final AL series of the early week, A's Mariners. A's take 2 of 3 against the M's after dropping the first game in extras, which brought the M's record to 5-0 in extra inning games this season. Useless stat, but I told you it anyway. Sean Manaea dazzles in Game 3 as he throws a complete game shut piece, giving up 4 hits, K and 8, walking 2. The A's stand alone in first place, yet still managed to play the most boring game of baseball I've ever seen. Randy, anything stand out to you?
That Cole start. Like you said, watching it firsthand, that whole series. It was weird because that's, he's been dominant this year, and as a Yankee fan, you expect to get a solid start from him every 5 days. And I think that was, they said either the first or second time. I think he gave up
5.
He gave up 5 runs in a game, and ironically, it was the first time after the whole sticky stuff cracking down, that whole memo was put out. Do you think it played into it? I personally, I do. There's been a lot of suspicion that Cole's been doing it since Houston, and that's why his numbers from Pittsburgh to Houston were so big, and why he was so effective with the strikeout stuff in Houston. Personally, as I think I think it could affect him if true. But
yeah,
as we've talked about, there's probably you can't even count how many guys are out there using it. They all are. So
yeah, I definitely think it played a role. I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, I think if you do use the sticky stuff, it gives you an edge. So it makes like the bad guys good and the good guys great. Mm-hmm. So I still think without it, Cole is going to be pretty good. And also too, we got to think it's against the Rays. Like ever since he's been on the Yankees, well, these last 2 seasons, the Rays have really been his kryptonite along with the whole team. So, like G-Man Choi wasn't in the lineup, I don't believe, right. Or maybe he was.
He got hurt. I think he's on the team now. That's
right. Yeah, he got hurt. But I think if you're going to pinpoint one team that Garrett Cole struggles against, it's going to be the Rays. Right. And that goes for the Yankees as a whole. I'm not reading that far into it. I mean, I'm really not. I don't think that it
I
had.
mean, watching that game firsthand, I could tell you his stuff wasn't on from the start of the game, whether it was, the pine tar or not.
Yeah,
His changeup wasn't there. His off speed wasn't there, and
yeah,
you know,
he was laboring for sure.
yeah, he was. He was. And like guys like that, he's throwing upper 90s. Like we've talked about in the past, his kryptonite is he gives up the long ball. It's gonna happen. The guy throws hard. You make hard contact on him, the ball's gonna go far.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely.
Regardless what pine tar or not, you can't expect Garrett Cole to give you that shutout every outing. So
yeah, I mean
I'll give him a pass on this one.
I want to see some of his other starts to come and see how he does in those. If he's doing fine and everything like that, then it's no big deal. I mean, the Jacob deGrom is one of one, and as good as Garrett Cole is, he's not Jacob deGrom. So when he goes out there, like he's going to struggle at some points. Jacob deGrom goes out there, you expect him to give up less than 2 runs a game. Granted, Garrett Cole's ERA is sub 2 as well, but DeGrom's is sub 1. He just lowered it from like 0.71 to like 0.6 something. So I'm not reading too much into it from the first start. If it continues, if Cole goes a couple more starts and gives up, 4, 5, 6 earned runs, and people are saying, oh, his RPMs are down or his that is down, he's struggling with command, then I would look into it. But one start against the Rays, whom he has notoriously struggled with while being on the Yankees, I just think people, given it was bad timing to start, that could be the Yankee fan in me, but it was bad timing to start. It was right after the stuff came out saying that they were going to MLB was going to crack down on the sticky stuff. And he also, his last start against the Rays, he went 8 shut with like 12 punchies.
Yeah.
So, that's not something you can live up to every time.
No. And I'll leave it here. His next outing, he's got the Twins coming into town. So
and we know how the Twins have been.
We're going into Minnesota, but yeah, we got the Twins coming up. So, if he if he struggles against the Twins and he gets hit hard against the Twins, maybe then I worry. But I think he's been pretty solid against the Twins, and the Twins have been playing a horrible brand of baseball this year. So
yeah,
hopefully he's back to normal. I'm not worried about it. It's it's Garrett Cole.
I agree. And another thing I wanted to touch on was the White Sox. I mean, we knew that they were going to be good. I know you and I both. I think we picked them to win the Central this year. Right. They're good, and we knew it coming in. They have young talent. They got Giolito. They got Kopech. They got a stud bullpen bolstered by Liam Hendricks. Great lineup with the young guys. I cannot stand Tony La Russa. He's back on the news again, not as heavy, but the other day I got it June 3rd right here. Lucas Giolito got tossed from a game from the dugout, arguing balls and strikes. Tony La Russa, quote, "He was having some fun, but you can't have it at the expense of the umpires. He's a special individual, and I understand he was trying to have a little fun, but umpires, they're very careful about listening to complaints," end quote. I can't stand this dude. I can't believe that they hired him. And I also can't believe that the White Sox are playing as well as they are with him as their manager. I mean, they're young guys and, led by, you got TA, Yohan Moncada, Abreu, but then you got veterans, you got Keuchel, you got Adam Eaton, guys that have been there and have won it all before. And I don't know if they have players only meetings because it's never been in the news or anything like that, but I don't know what it is. These guys, to me, I'm hats off to the White Sox because they're playing, it seems like, in spite of Tony La Russa, and nothing comes up about them talking bad about him. When Mercedes hit the 3-0 homer, TA came out, Lance Lynn came out, and they were like, keep doing your thing. But they weren't like bad mouthing Tony La Russa. Whereas Tony La Russa goes to the podium after the games, and he just throws his players under the bus. Like, I wouldn't want to play for somebody like that. I can't stand Tony La Russa. I hope they get rid of him, but it sucks because the White Sox are so good that they make him look good.
Right. And I think, it takes into consideration all the talent they have on that team. Like, despite your manager, not having your back, despite him constantly saying the wrong thing and that whole old school style of ball, they have the starting pitching, they have the bullpen, they have the bats to keep it going. So it seems like they're more playing for each other now than they are playing for him.
Definitely. And I hate the whole like old school versus new school aspect of things. I mean, I understand Tony La Russa, like he's got a great resume and
Right.
he is like 70 something years old. But I mean, you have to know what you're going into. Like he said that his first thing he wanted to do was get to know the guys and get to know the clubhouse. And that's fine. But old school versus new school, I don't think you go on the podium and I don't think you throw your players under the bus like that. It's something, oh, okay, I didn't like that he got thrown out. We'll handle it in house,
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I
So
think it's time to go. I
I think
mean,
it is too. As good as they are, like I don't know what they would do to replace him. Obviously, we're not
right.
White Sox fans. We don't know, the ins and outs. But from the outside looking in, their lineup is fantastic. Their rotation, bullpen are both fantastic. Like I said, they got veteran guys who have won it all before, but meaning they've won World Series as recently as 2019 and Adam Eaton.
Right.
And I just think, I mean, unless they use it to light a fire under themselves and they just go out and play in spite of him and they play for each other, which is awesome. You just can't. He's so unrelatable to them. It really grinds my gears if I'm being honest. Like I just can't. I don't know how they do it. I'm hats off to the White Sox. I love watching them play, love rooting for them and everything. But Tony La Russa just drives me up a wall with this nonsense, throwing your players under the bus, unwritten dumbass rules of baseball that just don't actually exist.
Right.
I understand there's proper etiquette and stuff like that, but coming into today's game, there's things like the stuff that he's been involved in has been nonsense BS type stuff. Like 3-0 home run off of a dude who threw a 47-mile-per-hour curveball, who's a position player, and you're going to get on your player about that. Not to mention, after Mercedes hit that, he was like 1 for his next like 26. So like it's baseball. You have ups and downs, peaks and valleys. You never know when that slump is going to come. Everybody's going to go through it. So don't get on your guys for, putting up their numbers. Like these guys got to get paid too. And even if you think athletes are overpaid, I mean, it's still their job and they do need to make money. So I appreciate all that stuff for Mercedes, but I just think I've never witnessed, other than Aaron Boone, somebody that's just so out of touch with the game.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. Like I said, I think Tony's got to go. Like you said, he had a great resume, great run with the Cards, whatever. But there comes a time and place where you're out of touch with the game and you got to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you have friends that are White Sox fans.
Yeah.
And, if there's any White Sox fans out there, let us know on socials or, comment on YouTube, whatnot, wherever you guys are watching it. If there's White Sox fans out here, let us know what you guys think. Because you guys, you're watching more of the games than we are realistically, and you see it.
Yeah, they know more about their team than we do.
Right. So, if it was a Yankee situation, I could tell you like the back of my palm. But,
yeah,
I want to hear from your side. What you guys think. So
yeah, most definitely. And sorry about that. I sprung that on Randy last minute. That wasn't scheduled to talk about. It was just something I had to get off the chest.
No, that's fine. We love the open ranting. But yeah, there's my favorite saying is there's no room in baseball for it. In TLR, there's no room in baseball for the shit you're pulling.
Yeah, there's definitely not. So we can move on now though. What's going on with the NL early week?
Yeah, let's crack into NL. First matchup we got is out in the East. We got the Braves and the Nats here. Battle in the NL East here as each team takes 2. Ronald Acuna matches 2 home runs in this series, including one in Game 1, as he's now tied for a home run lead. Again, we're recording this on Sunday, so this early week series, these are going to be statistics from earlier in the week. However, the Nats put up 5 on Max Fried in Game 2, and they get some bad news as Steven Strasburg exits in the second inning due to right trap tightness. Zimmerman and Soto homer in this one to help the Nats win 11-6, snapping a 5-game losing streak here. They'd go on to win back-to-back games as John Lester comes out and shoves the following game, and Soto homers again on back-to-back days. Yan Gomes had a go-ahead home run in the 8th, and the Nats would lock it down to win Game 3 5-3 before dropping the last 2 of the series 5-1 as Patrick Corbin continues to be terrible. Lieutenant Dansby Swanson hits his 10th home run on the year for his 500th career as we're starting to see some of the power we saw from him at Vanderbilt come about. Braves won at 5-1 and they saved themselves from losing a division series. Next series we're going to go into is the Mets and the D-backs. Mets take 2 and 3 here from a very bad Arizona Diamondbacks team, and the D-backs were in trouble from the start as Jacob deGrom does what he does. 6 scoreless, allowing only 2 hits and striking out 8. He also drove in a run on an RBI single in this one. What can't this guy do, Alex? I mean, he's incredible.
I don't think there's not a bad bone in that dude's body. I have some stats on the later series too that we'll talk about. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, they say that there's some things you're born to do. This guy was born to play baseball.
Absolutely.
So in that series, Pete Alonso has a big game in the first one, and he drives in 4 himself on 2 hits, including a 2-run shot. That'd be big for the Mets if he can get going. Mets win at 6-2. Game 2, however, the D-backs cut down on a 4-0 lead on a 3-run Pavin Smith 3-run shot in the 6th, and eventually tied on a Josh Rojas single in the 9th. That game would see extras as the Mets strike first, but it's an ex-Astro enemy, Josh Reddick, who comes up for the D-backs. He walks it off and talks it off on a big 2-run double in game for the D-backs. In Game 3, it started with a bang as James McCann stays red hot, hitting a 3-run shot. But maybe soon-to-be Yankee Ketel Marte would answer right back with a 2-run shot of his own. This one would go back and forth as there were ties at 5-5 and 6-6 for most of the game, but it's a big RBI single from who? Pete Alonso. That would prove enough to win this one as Edwin Diaz closes the door for the series win. Mets fans can be happy about getting Seth Lugo back in this one too, as they continue to play good ball. Next series we're going to go into is the Phillies and the Reds. Lopsided scores here all around as the Reds win Game 1 11-1. Vince Velasquez, who's been good this year, gets knocked around for 6 runs as Kyle Farmer and Max Schrock combined for 8 out of the 11 runs batted in. Holy moly. They each went yard to help the Reds dominate offensively. And speaking of dominance, that's exactly what Wade Miley was. He goes 6 innings pitched, giving up just 1 run on 6 hits over 6 to pick up the win. But whatever was in the Reds' water cooler in Game 1, Alex, must have got splashed onto the Phils. They mashed 7 home runs in Game 2. Torreyes, Hoskins, Joyce, they go yard. Odubel Herrera and Kutch, Andrew McCutchen both hit 2. Phils put up 17 runs as they get to Sonny Gray early and light up the Reds' pen. Nola gets the win despite giving up 3 earned over 5. And Game 3 was postponed, and that'll be played on June 28th, so later in the month. Tune into that one. The series, as of right now, is split 1 apiece, however. Next one we'll go into is a good battle here between the Cubs and the Padres. Cubs looking to find their identity, playing fantastic baseball in this series. Javi and your guy, Alex, KB, your pick for comeback player of the year.
Yep.
Heating up in Game 1. Those two both go yard off Chris Paddock for 5 runs over. They light him up for 5 runs over 4.2 innings. Cole Stewart tosses 5 scoreless for the Cubs, giving up only 3 hits, and the Cubs win Game 1, but they wouldn't be done. Winning Games 2 and 3 of the series due to a big go-ahead Wilson Contreras home run in Game 2. A good start from Adbert Azalea as he Ks 7 over 5, giving up just 1 on 3 hits. El Mago is back, goes deep again as he creeps near the top of the leaderboard. The Cubbies sweep as they make a push toward the top of the Central. Side note in this one, El Nino, Fernando Tatis, he hits 2 home runs and he's now tied with Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Ronald Acuna for the home run lead. That was at 17. We'll get into that later. It has now changed.
Again.
But, nonetheless, a good series, and the Cubs sweep that one. So I believe this is the final series on the National League side in the early week is the Dodgers and the Cardinals. Potential playoff matchup here, both teams playing good ball. Not leading their divisions, but playing good ball nonetheless. Dodgers take 2 of 3 here. Jay Flair versus Bauer in Game 1. Can't get much better than that. Cards get bad news, though, as I know we're going to touch on this later, but Jay Flair exits this one with an oblique injury, sending him to the IL. Chris Taylor has a huge game. He drives in 4, and the Dodgers take it 9-4 in the first one. Cards back bounce in Game 2, however, as one of our Alex Analysis guys shines, John Gant. He throws 6 scoreless. Dodgers would tie it up in the 7th, but Edmund Sosa, he's a rookie, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
He hit his first home run the other day, I believe. But
yeah.
Edmund Sosa gets the job done, driving it in. Driving in a single in the ninth, Alex Reyes locks down the save for the Cards, and Tyler O'Neill makes an incredible leaping catch to end the game, and the Cards tie the series up. Game 3 was all Dodgers, however, as putting up an 11th spot in the first. Cody Bellinger, our guy Belly, drives in 6 of his own RBIs in the first inning, including 4 on a grand slam. They knock around Carlos Martinez and to get him out of the game, as he gave up 10 in just 2/3 of an inning. So Walker Buehler gets the win in that one, seals the series, striking out 8 over 6, and the Dodgers look to make a push towards the top again.
There's a couple of things there. I'll talk later too. I got the NL late week series recaps, and the Cardinals, dude, they are falling apart.
Yeah, they are.
And it's sad to see because
and it comes at a bad time because the Cubbies are playing good ball right now.
And that's another thing we'll touch on too, because the late week NL series, the Cubs came into that as the hottest team in baseball against the Giants, and it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Paddock is one thing I wanted to mention. He has not been good this year, dude.
No,
and it's sad.
He's one of your fantasy guys, right? He's on your. He
was on my team. I dropped him. I picked up Luis Garcia and dropped Paddock because his ERA is like a 5+. Like he's not what 2019 Chris Paddock was, and I understand that he was a rookie. It takes a little bit for teams to figure you out, and when they do, it's the big leagues, man. Like it's tough to pitch, and it's sad to see. I love Paddock.
Yeah, going back to his rookie year, he had such high expectations when he came up. It was, it was supposed to be him, and then it was supposed to be who is their freaking left?
They got what's his name? Mackenzie Gore.
Mackenzie Gore, yeah. It was supposed to be him and Mackenzie Gore, who were like, the big guys coming. Oh, this is the future of the rotation. Blah blah blah. And Pat's been like mediocre.
Yeah, it's sad to see. Last year he did not pitch well. This year he hasn't pitched great at either. But he's got tons of guys to learn from. Like Joe Musgrove's good. Blake Snell is off this year, but he knows how to pitch. He's got a sigh in the bag.
Right.
Darvish, another one. He's got people to learn from. So I think he'll turn it around. Good coaching staff over there too in San Diego. Obviously, they're playing well. But I don't know. It's tough. I hate that. And sticking with the Padres too. I believe yesterday Vladdy hit a home run. That's not Padres, but the whole thing ties together. I think he's got 18 now, maybe 19, something like that.
I'm gonna touch into that.
I'll let you touch on that then. So I won't mention that, other than the fact that our home run leaders, top 3 right now, are all like 23 or younger. Yeah. So the future for Major League Baseball is extremely, extremely bright.
Yeah, and it's funny. We made a post last week. I think maybe it was Monday.
Yep.
About how it was Adolis Garcia, Tatis, Shohei,
Vladdy, Acuna.
and Acuna were all tied between, I think it was like 15 and 16.
Yeah.
Within like legitimately 3 hours. I think Tatis and
Acuna and Vladdy.
Yeah, Acuna and Vladdy homered and like shattered it. And then Tatis hit 2.
Yeah.
And Vladdy hit another. And then Acuna hit, it was crazy. Shohei hit 1.
Shohei hit another one last night too.
Yeah. So it's nuts. Like the young talent in this game and like the power that they bring and the excitement and the energy is incredible. Like it's awesome. It's amazing. Baseball is at its peak right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great. I love every single one of those guys. You and I are big fans of. And if you're not a fan of them, then you just don't watch baseball enough or something.
Right.
They're a joy to watch, dude. They're great for the game. Tatis is tremendous for the game. Some of the stuff that he does is wild, like the splits and things like that. But he's literally like a puppy dog running around, chasing after a ball.
It's the high energy baseball, dude. We're both in our mid-20s. When I see like Tatis, like if I'm watching a Padres game and Tatis is coming up to bat, dude, I run to my couch. I can't miss a pitch.
Exactly.
I have to see this guy's at bat. Like it's incredible.
Exactly. And it's the same with DeGrom and some of the pitchers. Like when they're on the bump, like I don't care if they were out in San Diego last night. Like I'm watching as much of the game as I can, or I'm catching the highlights, Right. And it's crazy. I love DeGrom isn't, on the younger side like Tatis and Acuna and all them. He's in his 30s, but I think he's like 30 or 31. But maybe 32 at most. But he's another one though. I mean, that guy's like fine wine. It gets better with age.
It's incredible for him to even be doing it in his 30s. Because look how many pitchers die out in their 30s, or deal with the injuries, and they're not the same pitcher.
And with sports everywhere, dude, sports everywhere, whether it's basketball, football, soccer, I mean, baseball, whatever. As soon as those athletes hit that dreaded 30-year-old mark, it's like, oh, they're old now. Like they're not good. It's like, Christ, these dudes and these women are in their 30s. Like they're still athletes. I mean, Brett Gardner, for instance, the dude still runs and he's like almost 40.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got Nelson Cruz is still like hitting balls 500 feet.
And Nelson Cruz could literally be one of our fathers. Like, it's crazy. I mean, it's wild. It's for sure. But I mean, in football too, you get like the running backs. As soon as they hit 30, it's like, oh, they're done.
Yeah, their knees go. Look at
basketball.
Todd Gurley is like a guy who he was headed straight to Canton, Ohio, and then he got arthritis in his knees, and it's like, all right, that guy stinks now.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Being an athlete's hard work. Professional athlete, it's not easy.
Yeah, but respect to like the guys like Scherzer, like I mean, I know Verlander's hurt right now, but
he was another one.
Those guys, well in their 30s, they've been throwing like 200 innings a year. For years and years and years. Like it's so much wear and tear, and you're still doing it. Like I give all the respect and all the credit.
Especially in baseball too, because the overhand motion is not a natural motion for the arm. That's why in softball you can see these women going out there throwing back-to-back days, throwing 100+ pitches, because underhand is a natural motion for the arm, whereas overhand's not. So you're putting extra strain on the shoulders and the elbows. And to see those guys getting out there when you're quote unquote getting up there in age, when they're in their 30s, it's impressive. And I'm happy. We got Acuna, we got Vladdy, we got Tatis. So I mean, it's awesome, man. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and it's going to continue being fun if those guys can stay healthy for the next 10 years.
Yeah, the future of the MLB is very bright.
Absolutely. Like
I follow a lot of like the minor leagues, and I know you do too, Alex, but like some of these guys coming up, like Bobby Witt, Jason Dominguez, when he comes up, like these guys are going to be so fun to watch. Wander Franco.
Yeah. I even can't wait. We were just talking about him, Mackenzie Gore.
Yeah, exactly.
He's had a cup of coffee in the show, but still.
Adley Rushman's going to be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Dude, there's a bunch, man.
Yeah.
There's a ton. It's crazy. Yankees just called up Chris Gittins. He was hitting well in AAA.
Yeah, we'll get into that. I got some stuff on the.
All right, yeah, I got you. But speaking of young talent, though, do you have anything else from that series, the early week NL, or no?
No, I mean, a couple good series there. Like I said before, the Cubbies are playing good ball, so I know you're going to get into it later, but
but I mean,
Central is up for grabs, man.
It is. That's the other thing I wanted to say before I move on. Chris Bryant, forget comeback player of the year. Dude's in a contract year, man, and he's back to MVP type form. This could not be a better time for him. Whether he gets traded to a contender if the Cubs fall out of it, whether he sticks to the Cubs and goes elsewhere, or even stays with the Cubs after his free agency, my man's going to get the bag.
Yeah, he will.
He's going to get the bag. He's already got an MVP in the bag. He's already got a World Series in the bag. And now he's returning the MVP form. He's going to be golden for sure.
The game of baseball is better when Chris Bryant is good.
I agree, man. And he's so versatile too. He can play third. He's played first this year for the Cubbies.
He's played left.
He plays left. He's played out. I think the entire month of May, he did not play one out at third base. He played outfield. So, I mean, it's great. But moving on to the Interleague. Speaking of young talent, man, Marlins Blue Jays. Quick 2-game set here. A lot of talent, young talent on both sides. Speaking of, Jazz Chisholm returns from his ankle injury. Sat out a few days for that. Hits a homer and plays well, but it doesn't mean much because Vladimir Guerrero Jr. keeps mashing baseballs, tagging Sandy Alcantara for 4 runs in Game 1, the Blue Jays did. Game 2 was back and forth the entire game, but the Blue Jays got the last laugh as they talk it off, thanks to Joe Don't Panic with a sac fly and an error by the M's. Blue Jays get the quick 2-game sweep there. Some more young talent, Tigers Brewers. Another 2-gamer. This one was split as the Brew Crew walks it off thanks to Urias' ribby single. Corbin Burns had another strong outing, 6 innings, giving up 1 earned, striking out 7, walking 2. In Game 2, the Tigers' offense absolutely exploded, picking up where they left off against the Yankees as they win 10-7, tagging Eric Lauer for 7 runs in 2 innings. 3 different players in Game 2 of this series all had 3 homer games. So Jonathan Scope, Haas, Colin Wong all went deep 3 times. So Pirates, again, take that one 10-7, split the 2-gamer with the Brew Crew. Pirates Royals. The Royals are low-key hot again, sweeping the Pirates in 2 games. Not that that's really anything to, talk smack about. The Pirates stink. But Mike Minor, quality start in Game 1. He goes 6, K's 7. Game 2, the offense came to play as Salvi hits 2 homers, and Benny Biceps flexes on the Pirates for a grand slam and 5 steaks. The Royals got themselves 1 game above 500. Maybe they're kind of decent. We touch on that with the AL. I know you got the AL late week series. Royals are above 500. They're good. Rangers, Rockies. You want boring baseball? We got it right here. These 2 teams are combined 43-68 after this quick series. However, Game 1's electric, but not really, as the Rockies walk it off in 11 thanks to a wild pitch. That's almost as boring as the walk-off walk. Even the walk-offs are boring for this team. Texas then continues to drop games 2 and 3, getting swept by the Rockies out in Colorado. The Rangers at that point, which was Wednesday, I believe, had lost 15 straight road games. Final interleague series, Angels-Giants. Angels and Giants split a 2-game set as both games were lopsided. Cueto goes 7 innings in Game 1. Longo hits a homer. Giants hit 3 in the game to win 6-1. Game 2, the Angels offense decided to come out of hibernation, but more impressively, their pitching didn't stink. They win 8-1 behind 6 in the 3rd innings, 7 punchies by Andrew Heaney, and 8 runs by their offense, all without hitting a homer. That's impressive for today's day and age. Good for the Angels. Giants are for real. I've changed my stance. I'll talk about that later. Anything stands out to you, Randy?
Yeah, thank you for finally giving into the fact that the Giants are legit.
I know.
I mean, it's June and they're doing their thing in the West, and that's not an easy division to be controlling. So
no, it's not. They're 2 games up on the Pods and 3 on the Cardinals on the Dodgers right now.
Right. Yeah, they keep winning, man. They keep finding a way to do it. If this keeps up, there's no shot they're going to be sellers at the deadline.
They can't. I mean, unless they're.
Crossman is still doing the things he's doing. You can't ship that guy.
I mean, unless it's like, where it's like we're in it kind of, but like we have a shot at a wild card kind of thing. I really don't know. I mean,
yeah.
Unless they're thinking like long term, where they're like, we'll get rid of these guys and then we can, just rebuild for the future. But I feel like the fan base wouldn't want that. They owe it to the fan base. So I hope if they keep it up, I hope that it stays, the way it is and they keep everybody. Such
a loyal and such a good fan base too.
Yeah.
Those Giants fans are great, and they make that Dodgers Giants rivalry so great. When
both teams are good, dude, it's such a fun rivalry.
Yeah, it's one of the most exciting rivalries.
Those three teams. I mean, the Pods, the Giants, and the Dodgers. Like when each of those 3 teams play each other. Granted, the Padres and the Giants aren't like crazy rivals like the Padres and the Dodgers have come to be, or like the Dodgers and the Giants have been in the past and still are. But I mean, it's still fun to watch the Padres and the Giants. Like there's just not as much bad blood, but
yeah, no, it's good.
Just
good baseball teams playing good baseball against each other is always great to watch.
Absolutely, dude. And that division, the NL Central, the AL East all have 1, 2, 3, at least 3 teams with 30 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the Yankees are 31-28. They're 5.5 games out of first place.
Yeah, exactly.
The AL East and the NL Central and they're both better than we thought that they were going to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I thought for sure the winner of the NL Central was going to win like 88 games.
Right.
So, and it still could be that way, but
We were talking. I was talking to our good friend Mike Puri the other day, and we were talking about how in basketball, it's awesome. Not that it's great, but to us, it's fun to see that LeBron got eliminated. The Warriors aren't in it. It's cool to see like the
It's new
Suns.
teams.
Yeah, the Suns,
Yeah.
the Mavericks coming into place. Same thing with baseball. Like it would be fun to see the Royals be good. It would be fun to see the Angels be good.
Yeah.
Like the Giants come back and be good. Like it's so nice to see new faces. Like
Yeah, I mean, as good as the Dodgers are, like I'm not taking anything away from the Dodgers. They are a phenomenal baseball team.
right.
You and I love pretty much everybody on that roster. From Betts to I don't even know, some Joe Kelly. Like love everybody. What do you say?
I said I hate to love them.
Yeah, exactly. Hate to love them, man. But like they won the World Series 2020. They were in the World Series. What was it? 3 out of that 4-year span from 2016 to 2020. And they're probably I don't know if they're going to be in it again this year, but it's refreshing to see. It's like when the Warriors and the Cavs were doing it, when Bron was down in Cleveland and KD joined the Warriors after they had already won 82 games or whatever. Or I don't know what the record was, but either way, it was
the thing without the ring.
Yeah, it was boring when it was just them. We had 3 years in a row. It was them.
Yeah.
Like in the finals. And then, the Dodgers, granted, they played the Astros in 2017, played the Red Sox in 2020. 2019, nobody was there. The Astros were there. And then, or 2018, and then 2019 was that. And then 2020, they beat the Rays. So the AL has had a couple of movement in there, a little bit of movement, but the NL, not so much. And that's why the Nationals, when they won it, it was awesome because they were like, dude, they were out.
They were a wild card team.
They were out. They were like 20 games under 500.
They were what was it? A Trent Grisham era away from being eliminated.
Yeah, and even before that, they were like 17-30 at one point or some shit. Like they were not good. They flicked a switch second half, man. It was.
Yeah, so it's nice to see, like some of these other teams, like I mentioned, the Giants, the Royals are winning games. Like it'll be nice to see some new faces. Even though they're in our division, like the Blue Jays, it'd be fun to see them.
That's another one you hate to love, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully these teams could play hot and we could get some different things. I have kind of relating into it, but we'll get into it later. Is in the Yankee Rant, kind of relating towards what we were just.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
But
other than that.
Yeah, if we want to.
Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, go for it. Go with the late week for the AL. I don't have anything else.
So we mentioned the Giants-Dodgers rivalry. We got another historic rivalry here. Is the first series, Yanks and Sox. Going into this, I was very excited. First time the Yanks are playing the Sox this year. As a Yanks fan, you kind of you get yourself prepared for this series to watch pitch for pitch.
Yep.
But it hasn't been so good so far. Yanks continue to be bad here as the Red Sox bats get to Mike King and Jameson Taillon, each for a combined 7 earned runs. Rafael Devers, first inning shot off Mike King, proved to be enough in this one as the Red Sox win Game 1 5-2 behind nasty Nate Eovaldi. In his 6 strong innings, giving up just 1 earned on 8 hits. He punched out 7 in that one. Game 2, Yanks pen implodes. Devers and Dahlback each driving 2. Sox bats were hot, and so was Gleyber Torres in this one. He drove in 3 of his own, including a 2-run shot. But it wasn't enough as the Sox bats put up 4 against Chad Green in the 8th and win this one 7-3. Sox go for the sweep tonight on Sunday Night Baseball at 7:08, and they look to make it 4 in a row and reclaim first place in the East. So Yanks fans, maybe mute this one because it hasn't looked so good. But the next series we'll go into is the Orioles versus Indians. Not a huge blockbuster here, Alex.
No.
But in Game 1, Keegan Aiken decides to shove for the O's out of nowhere. He gives up 0 earned runs through 5 on just 3 hits as the Indian bats were quiet in this one despite scoring first off the O's pen in the 6th as it was a 0-0 game into the 6th. However, it's the king of the castle, Ryan Mountcastle, who puts the team on his shoulders, blasting a 2-run shot that would give the O's the lead And from there on out, it was the O's game to lose, tacking on 1 in the 8th as well, and the pen doing its job. O's take game 1 3-1, but a scary sight for O's fans in game 2. As we mentioned before, John Means exits in the first inning with shoulder fatigue. Hopefully, that's just a rest and recovery thing, and nothing further than that. He's been absolutely incredible. He has like a 2 ERA on the year. He's one of the top ERA guys in the league, and he's been dominant for them. So it's never good to lose your ace, even when you're one of the worst teams in baseball. But like a car dealer talking to a fresh new driver who has their daddy's credit card in their hand, the Indians take advantage of this one. They put up 7 after just 3 innings as homers from Cesar Hernandez, Harold Ramirez, and Yu Chang give them a big lead. Bats would stay hot, and big games from Hernandez and Ramirez power the offense to a 10-4 lead as 10-4 win as the final game is played today at 1:05. A side note in this one, there were 6 home runs hit in game 2, and that combined for 8 out of the 14 runs scored. So maybe juice balls are back. Balls were flying. I don't know.
I don't either. I didn't realize that. That's good.
Yeah, so balls were flying there. Could have been just like a windy weekend or something. Or...
Camden's a hitter-friendly park, but yeah.
Exactly. So the next series we're going to go into is the Rays and the Rangers. A name to look out for here. Either fantasy, I don't know how available he is in the leagues, Alex will have to look into it. But Kyle Gibson, Gibby, he's been dominant this year, and he continued holding the Rays scoreless through 5 1/3 on just 5 hits. Rangers bats touch up Josh Fleming in this one for 5 through 7 innings pitched, including Joey Gallo's 10th on the year. Rays get late runs from a 2-run shot from Brandon Lau, homering in the 8th, and Brett Phillips, who hit an RBI single in the 9th. But Ian Kennedy works out of trouble for the save, and the Rangers end up winning it 5-1. Game 2 was a different story as Father Time. Rich Hill throws 5 scoreless, allowing only 2 hits. He got help from an early 2 RBI single off of the hot bat of Austin Meadows. Why are MLB pitchers still pitching to this guy? The score would remain 2-0 all the way to the 8th, where the Rays would put up 1 more on a Manny Margot solo shot and take it 3-0 to take 2, and they look to take 2 out of 3 from the Rangers today at 2:35 and remain top of the AL East. Next series we're going to go into is a very good one, Blue Jays and the Astros. Exciting baseball here. Game 1 was supposed to be a great pitching match between Ryu and Greinke, but as it turns out the Astros went and messed that one up, putting up 7 runs on Ryu through 5 2/3. Strohs put up a total of 13 in this one as Maldonado drives in 5 on his own, and Correa drives in 4 to bring home 9 of their 13 runs. Greinke throws a complete game gem. He gives up only 6 hits, 1 earned. He only walked 1 and he struck out 3. That's complete dominance there from Greinke as he does what he usually does. Strohs take game 1, 13-1. But however, game 2, the Jays bounce back as they combine for 6 runs in the 4th and 5th. Who's homering again? Mother effing Vladdy Daddy takes the MLB home run lead in this one, hitting his 18th on the year. MVP campaign here? I think so.
Absolutely.
As you said before, Joe, don't panic. Hits a big 3-run shot in this one, and Ross Stripling throws a gem going 5 innings pitched, giving up 1 earned on 7 hits, and the Jays pen shuts it down to win this one 6-2. Game 3, the deciding game, will be played today at 1:07. So if you like good baseball, tune the heck in, and we'll see who wins that one. Central matchup here, we got the White Sox and the Tigers. Back and forth game here in game 1 as each team had a big inning. White Sox putting up 5 in the 5th, and Tigers follow it with 6 in the 7th. This game would be tied going into the 9th, where Yermin Mercedes, Mr. 3-0, possible Rookie of the Year, walks it off on a single. I wonder if Tony La Russa is mad about that one. And Sox take game 1, 9-8. Grandal and TA7, Tim Anderson, both driving 2 runs for the White Sox. And Jonathan Scope, as you mentioned before, Alex, he has a huge game. He drives in 5 in this one. But it wouldn't be enough as the Sox take it. Game 2, tough task for the Tigers here as they drop 1 already, facing Lucas, your guy, Lucas Giolito. But they were up for the task. Sox strike first on an RBI knock from Nick Madrigal, but the Tigers would take control from there. As another guy you mentioned before, Eric Haas, drives in 3 on 2 home runs of off the White Sox ace. Miggy Cavs, Miguel Cabrera would add on to, as he still got it. He hits his 5th on the year, giving the Tigers a 4-1 lead, and then Rake Lamb would make it a close one with the 2 RBI double in the 6th, but the Tigers' pen would shut it down. As the Tigers beat Giolito and the White Sox 4-3 in Game 2. Game 3 will be played today at 2:10, so tune into that one. Royals versus Tigers. Royals bats would explode in Game 1, and it's yet another blowout L for the Twins, as it seems like every other game they have La Tortuga on the mound. Merrifield, Santana, Benintendi, Taylor, and Perez would all have multiple RBIs in this one. I think Merrifield and Taylor each had 3. The rest had 2 each. As they went to war for their offense, driving in 10 of the 14 runs in this 14-5 victory. It was 13-0 after 2 in this one, so the Twins continue to struggle. Game 2, however, was back and forth here. 4 home runs in this one combined, but it was Benintendi who flexes those muscles again. Royals put up a 2-run shot, or as he puts up a 2-run shot off Jose Barrios of the Twins, but when it looks like the Royals had control of this game and were looking to take the first 2, big Miggy Sano blasts a 2-run shot of his own. Yankees fans have seen time and time again as he's a Yankee killer. He makes it 5-4 in the 6th, and the Twins' pen comes in and locks it down as they win it 5-4. Game 3 is played today at 2:10. And then the final game of this late week AL series, the Angels and the Mariners, a 4-game set here out west, as the Angels would strike first in this one on a pair of home runs by Justin Upton and Jared Walsh. But it would be all M's from here as Justice Sheffield, ex-Yankee, would settle into case 7 over 5 2/3. He gets help from his offense as Jake Fraley hits his first MLB home run. Congrats, Jake. And it's a big one, a 3-run shot, and it gives them the lead 4-2. Ems would tack on 2 more on a JP Crawford RBI knock and Kyle Seager solo shot in this one to win it 6-2. But, the Angels took that into consideration, and they would strike back, winning the next 2 with a combined score of 15-7. Game 2, possible MVP candidate was on the mound, Shohei Ohtani. It was a good one. Ohtani goes 6, allows only 2 earned. He strikes out 10 in that one. He's electric, as we mentioned before. M strike first on a JP Crawford drives in 2 on a solo shot and a sac fly through only 3 innings. But the Halo strike back. Justin Upton stays hot. He ties it in the 3rd on a 2-run shot. And then Josh Rojas hits a solo shot in the 4th to make it 3-2. And then it was Ohtani time. Ohtani and the pen do their job, and the Angels hang on to win it 3-2. Game 3 was an onslaught. Angels put up 12 in this one. Ohtani hits his 16th of the year as he continues to be a star and be among the top of those home run leaders. As we mentioned before, Vladdy's leading it with 18, but he's among the top. Ohtani, Upton, Rendon, Lugares, and Ward each drive in 2 to help Alex Cobb, who goes 7 innings, striking out 6. Although he gave up 5 runs, he gets the win. The Angels get the win 12-5, and they look to take 3 out of 4 here today at 4:07. So tune into those ones. A bunch of good matchups there. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Saturday in general, both AL, NL, we had some crazy, absolutely insane pitchers on the bump, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I posted it via MLB stats on Twitter on our Instagram page. We had Saturday's slate of starters and their ERA ranks this year. Jacob deGrom, first, 0.71, which is now, I think, like 0.67. Brandon Woodruff ranked 3rd at 127. He pitched. Kevin Gausman ranked 4th at a 1.4. Trevor Rogers ranked 5th at a 1.87. John Means, as you'd mentioned, he's ranked 6th with a 2.05. And Joe Musgrove ranked 8th with a 2.08. And that was, I mean, it was awesome. Like it was nice outside. First game started at like 4:00. I mean, you would have catch me inside watching baseball all day. Like If I didn't have stuff to do, I would have been in there. So
Beautiful day outside, but if you don't like the humidity, it would have been an even better day to watch some good baseball games.
yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. But yeah, a lot of good AL series there. I mean, the Orioles are mashing homers.
Yeah, they're going for 2 series wins in a row.
Yeah. I mean, J Up is returning to like vintage J Up form, it seems like maybe.
Like we said a million times, what year is it? Is it
2012? Exactly. Exactly, dude. It's wild. I mean, there were some good matchups. Yankees stink, nothing else really that anybody needs to know about.
Dude, Ohtani's incredible, man. I mean, he goes out on the bump and he considers that a bad outing.
Yeah.
Giving up the 2 earned that he gave up. He gets the win and he strikes out 10, and then he goes on and he hits a home run the next day.
I know.
This guy is just nuts, man.
It's
and we've
awesome.
seen it over and over again, but he's insane.
It's awesome that he's like fully healthy and everything. And that Joe Madden like knows how to do it, because I don't think Mike Scioscia knew how to work with it. So
no,
I mean, it's awesome to watch, dude. It's so much fun.
The guy's in incredible shape, and he was doing this in Japan before he came to the big leagues. Like,
exactly.
The guy can play every day. Like if he needs a day off, he can say that he needs a day off. But
it's exactly.
It doesn't appear it. Like the dude is throwing 100 pitches and then the next day coming out and hitting a 400-foot shot.
Yeah. In the first inning too, like second AB or second AB of the game.
It's ridiculous. Like you feel like you're watching Babe Ruth reborn.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else that we want to touch on?
I know we're, at least I'm a little tough on time today. So we were trying to get this pod in as quick as possible, so we could jump right into
we'll jump into the NL then. We'll start off with the Marlins Pirates and raise the Jolly Rogers. The Pirates have taken 3 of 4 against the Marlins so far, which is honestly shocking. Marlins aren't that bad. The Pirates are bad. But Kyle Crick, there's the name. I know, Randy, you name dropped him to me the other day, has been looking nasty out of the bullpen, throwing some disgusting sliders this series. Pirates won 8-7 yesterday in 12 innings. Sunday features our guy Sandy Alcantara versus Chad Kuhl as the Pirates are looking to sweep. Nats Phils, game 1 was the one to watch this series. Nats roll into the city of brotherly love, but it's no love at all as Scherzer and Wheeler duel it out in game 1. Both going at least 7 and striking out at least 8. Scherzer, however, gets the dub as he goes 7 2/3, 1 earned, 9 tickets punched, and 1 walk. Wheeler takes the loss despite going 7 1/3, only giving up 2, 8 punchies, and 2 walks. Juan Soto also homered in game 1, now has 7 on the year. He's heating up, so watch out for that. Game 2 was all Phillies as they win it, and today they throw Vince Velasquez on the bump to try and take this rubber game and win the series. He's having a surprisingly good year, as Randy's mentioned in the past, so might be a good one to tune into. Dodgers Braves, the Doyers make their way into Hotlanta. Take game 1 beating up on my rookie of the year pick, Ian Anderson. Shout out Shenandoah High School in upstate New York. But the Bravos send veteran Charlie Morton to the hill in game 2 on Saturday. He helps them get back on track he helps them get back on track going 5 strong, giving up 2 earned. Kershaw takes the L in this one. He went 6, gave up 5, somehow still struck out 9. Rubber games today, Trevor Bauer, Max Fried, 2 SoCal boys going at it. That should be fun to watch. D-backs Brewers. The Brewers go for the sweep today as they've taken the first 3 of this 4-game set. Decent offense going on here by both teams, but the Brewers pitchers are holding it down. Freddie Peralta took a no-no into the 8th inning on Friday on his birthday. He finished with 7 1/3, 1 earned, 9 punchies, and 3 walks. The Brew Crew bullpen has given up 4 earned runs this entire series, and the D-backs have lost 16 straight road games. Also to mention, the Brewers are tied with the Cubs for first place in the NL Central right now. Speaking of NL Central, Reds Cardinals, the Reds have taken 3 against the Cards so far in this 4-game set. That hurts me. Upset in the brewing for sure, as the Cards have really hit a wall and slowed down tremendously on offense. They've been outscored 15-8, so both pitching and offense are struggling right now. Speaking of struggling pitching, Luis Castillo got his 2nd win of the entire season this series. He's been bad this year, but it doesn't matter to Nick Castellanos and Jesse Winker as they continue to rake. And Nick Castellanos has a 21-game hit streak coming into today on Sunday. That's the longest active streak in the league. The
Take it
Cards.
easy, Nick.
The Reds go for the sweep. We'll see how it goes. The Cardinals are falling apart. Cubs Giants, another good one. The Cubs came into this series the hottest team in baseball, coming off a sweep of the Padres, sole possession of first place in the Central, making everyone, me, forget that they were supposed to be bad this year, or we thought they were going to be. However, they've run into the buzzsaw that is the San Francisco Giants and Kevin Gausman. Giants have taken the first 3 of this series, look to go for the sweep today. Gausman continues to dazzle. Brandon Crawford is second in the entire league with a 1 OPS with runners in scoring position this season. The Giants are good. I'm fake for taking this long to acknowledge it. That much we did know. Final NL series of the year, or of this week, Mets Padres. Blake Snell finally turning around in game 2 of the series. He gets a win, taking another almost no-no, into the 7th inning, finishing with 7 innings pitched, no earned, 1 walk, 10 tickets punched. By far his best start of the season. The Pods take the first 2 games, but fall in game 3 to, well, you guessed it, Jacob deGrom and company, as deGrom averaged 100.4 miles per hour on his 4-seam fastball on Saturday night, the highest average velocity on a 4-seamer for a starter all season, breaking the record previously set by who? Jacob deGrom. He shuts out the Padres going 7 strong, 1 walk, 11 punchies. Mets look to salvage game 4 and split the series today, Sunday, as they send the Stro Show, Marcus Stroman, to the hill against the Cowboy we talked about earlier, the Sheriff, Christopher Paddock. We'll see how that goes. That was it. Anything you want to talk? I mean, the Cardinals are dead. The Brewers are good.
Very dead. Yeah, Nick Castellanos.
Yeah.
Slow your roll, man. Like,
sheesh.
Good God.
I didn't even know that, dude. I just watched a highlight or something, or I was watching the beginning of the game, and it was like 20. Yesterday, it was like he's currently has a 20-game hit streak, the longest active streak in the league. I was like, where the hell did that come from? Him and Winker are both hitting like 340 plus, leading the league.
Nuts. I mean, they're with their offense, they should be so much better. They're kind of like the Angels of the NL.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
They have all these pieces, but they just they can't figure it out.
And it stinks because Luis Castillo has been literally god awful this year.
Terrible. And
he got his 2nd win of the season. He's like 2-7 on the year. He's got an ERA, at least I think coming into his start yesterday, he got an ERA like north of 7.
And they lost Bauer in the offseason, so they kind of needed him to be that guy.
And luckily they have Sonny Gray, who's been consistent. So, I mean, they have him. Maley's been nice too. He threw yesterday.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and we've known, at least I've known, that you've been fake news for a long time now.
Yeah, so. Dude, I'm a fraud. People, if you're first time listener, you listener to this, I mean, I'm probably the biggest fraud you'll ever meet, dude. I'm a hater, so it's just tell it how it is.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm not mad at you for being fake, but I do appreciate you finally accepting that the Giants are good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know why.
We'll see going forward with them, what happens in that West. Because they could go on a bad week, and the Dodgers and the Padres could easily be, 3-4.
Exactly.
So anything can happen, but for now, I'm going to stick to you're a fraud. Giants stay hot. I say it week after week to Giants fans. Good for you guys.
I hope they do stay hot, man. I hope they do. So,
oh man,
you want to cap it off here with the Interleague?
Yeah. Before that, just I think there was 1 or 2 injuries we might have missed. Mitch Garver.
Oh yeah.
All the Twins fans. I don't know if his season's done, but he's gonna undergo surgery after being hit in the groin with a foul ball.
Ouch.
So that's a big loss to Twins because their offense kind of sucks and their team kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So, fans, that RIP.
Yeah.
And then another one was Mad Bum. I think he left his game with shoulder discomfort. So that's something to look out for. I mean, the D-backs stink. So it's 2 injuries to 2 shitty teams that probably could.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
And
then Spencer Turnbull too, another young gun.
Oh, right.
He's out with a forearm strain. So hopefully that's just exactly what it says is a strain, because a lot of times that could turn into TJ surgery. So hopefully he'll be rest, recover, rehab, all that nonsense, and come back, be all right.
He decided to throw a no-no, drop the hammer on the Yankees, and then
call it a season.
Yeah.
He's done.
So, I mean, a couple injuries there, bunch of, kind of bad teams. So it's not.
Yeah, but you want to cap off the recaps?
Yeah, let's do, the lone interleague series.
There's only one. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, and, you talk a lot about boring baseball and, two teams that come to mind, the A's and the Rocks. I don't think it gets much worse than this.
No.
A's stay hot in this one. They take the first two as they combine for 15 runs in the first two games. Sean Murphy and Mark Canha driving multiple runs in the first game, and Frankie Montas wins his 6th game of the year. Game 2, Matty O, goes yard for his 15th as he creeps toward the top of the MLB leaderboard. He's usually there, but I had no idea he was towards the top this year.
Yeah, same here.
He drives in 2, and Chapman, Pinder, and Canha each drive in 1 to power the offense. Cole Swervin Irving goes for 6 strong in game 2, allowing 6 hits and just 1 earned, while striking out 5. And the A's take the first 2, and they look for the sweep today at 3-10. So boring series.
Trevor Story's hurt. The A's play boring baseball. Like, there's not much to watch there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
series,
nothing.
I'd like to see how that, the Stros Blue Jays series pans out, and the Giants Cubbies. Whatnot.
Yeah, that one there. I mean, I think I like the Stros Blue Jays. Like you said, the Giants Cubbies is another good one. I mean, I'm kind of interested to see if the Pirates sweep the Marlins today.
I am too.
And I want to see them. I see if the Mets can salvage game 4 and get a split with the Pods as well.
Yeah.
I want to see if that'll happen.
Maybe the Cards can win a game. Maybe
they got to salvage it too. I mean,
he's got Domingo Germán on the mound today, so maybe
Domingo on Domingo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
So,
but what was that? I was just going to look at something. Who were we just talking about? Oh, yeah, the A's. The A's got a 2-game lead in first place still. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They've won 4 straight.
nice.
Good for the A's.
Boring.
Nice. But
so do you have anything to talk about with Alex's analysis? I know.
Yeah, I got a couple of guys. I mean, I can kind of breeze through the fantasy and all that stuff and then we can get out of here.
As far as the bigger topics, like we said before, this week was kind of uneventful.
Yeah.
But between kind of the biggest thing is like the home run race right now is keep an eye on that. But yeah, if you want to get into it, a lot of fantasy guys listening out there. So
yeah, let's get into it then. We got 3 players available in 45% or more leagues on ESPN. And knocked it down from 5 to 3, just save time and just because I felt like 3 would be a better number. So first we talked about him earlier, James McCann. Started off very slow, much like Lindor, but they both seem to be heating up as of late. I like to carry 2 catchers in fantasy baseball because they often have more days off than any other position player. A lot of day game after night game action, stuff like that. So for the year, McCann's numbers are low. He's only slashing 234, 295, 372. With a below average OPS of 667 and an OPS plus of 88. While these numbers are low, there's 2 positives here. The average OPS for MLB catchers this season is 675, which is more than McCann, but it shows how bad the position is this season because he's been hot as of late, which can lead to him helping you out even more. And as I mentioned, he's been scorching hot over the last week. His last week, he's slashing 450, 450, 1 dot. Not much, not walking much or at all. But he's 9 for his last 20 as of Thursday or Friday, giving him that 450 average. Fantasy is all about riding the hot streaks and riding the hot hands. James McCann has been a great asset. It could be a great asset to a deeper league team who already has a stud NL catcher because all the good catchers are in the NL this year to play on their off day. He's available in 63.3% of leagues. Sticking with position players, Corey Dickerson, dude, I was kind of surprised by this about how available he was. He's not a huge power guy at all. He's just a throwback player to me, meaning he hits for average and he's just a professional hitter. Currently available in 81.4% of leagues. He's the 18th ranked outfielder in ESPN fantasy leagues and averages just under 2.5 points. Although there are a ton better options for outfielders, the Betts, the Acuna, Soto, etc. You probably already have one of those guys, if not 2, on your roster. Dickerson can provide some off the bench help for fit in with one of your last outfield positions and your starting lineup. Slashing 285, 350, 400 with an OPS of 750. He's a professional hitter, like I said. League average OPS is 707, so he's above average in that category. 285 batting average is nothing to scoff at. You barely see that anymore. And the power numbers aren't there, but over his last 7 days, he's slugging 727, OPS of 1.265. Hard hit percentage is around career average. But it's just what he does. Just look into him. He's a professional hitter. Could be some outfield help for sure. And I mentioned this guy earlier too, Martin Perez, pitcher for the Red Sox. To me, he's their ace when you look at their numbers. Available in 78.5% of ESPN leagues. Veteran lefties sporting a 3.09 ERA and 51 in third innings pitched. Over his last 5 starts, he's averaged about 6 innings, 1.2 earned runs, and he's 4-0 with a 1.98 earned run average. He also has an ERA plus of 141, which is 41 points higher than the league average. 8K per 9. His FIP is below average, which is good as well. Below league average, which is good at 3.48. The average is 4. Also, not to mention his last start, he was against the Astros. He went 7 2/3 shut with that team against them. They're loaded with offense, so he's hot. Could be a good guy if you like to swing pitchers throughout the week, which I know some guys like to do. So that's it for the fantasy guys, but 3 guys you should know about. Adam Frazier, number 1. I know he's on the talk to be traded to the Yankees possibly. But I don't know how they do it, but they managed to find talent. That is the Pirates. They just also happen to get rid of talent. So be ready for this guy to be on another team come trade deadline season. For now, know the name Adam Frazier. He can play second base and outfield. He's versatile, slashing 333, 393, 477 with an 870 OPS, 141 OPS plus. Look for this guy in the All-Star game representing the Pirates, honestly. And look for him to be on a contender as the deadline rolls around. Like I said, Yankees fans, he might be a good fit in New York. Pirates GM and Yankees GM are friendly. And one thing I've learned from talking to baseball ops people is that GMs tend to do business with other GMs that they get along well with. Just like in general, you want to do business with people you like. So the Yankees have already made moves with the Pirates in the past. So remember Adam Frazier, see where that goes. Luis Garcia, talked about him earlier too, helping man the Astros rotation. I'd argue that behind Greinke, he's their best starter. He's thrown 53 innings so far this year, and he's honestly could be better. He's got a better ERA than Greinke. He's got a 2.89 in 9 starts, 60 punch-outs in 53 innings. That's good for a 10.2 K per 9 rate, a WHIP below league average at 1.019, ERA plus of 1.43, walk rate of 2.9, or a walks per 9 rate of 2.9. Hitters are only hitting 193 off of him with a 365 slug and a 632 OPS. These numbers are great. Keep your eye on him. Remember his name. I think he should be in the All-Star game. He might pitch at some point. This one, next one should be obvious. I mean, Randy and I are watching it firsthand now, but I just think that this guy gets no love. Nobody talks about him. And it's the X-Man, Xander Bogaerts, dude. You want to talk about the most underrated shortstop, if not the most underrated player in baseball, it's Xander Bogaerts, and it's not even close. In the league with Tatis, Lindor, Story, Seager, Correa, Turner, etc., Bogaerts is often overlooked, underappreciated. At the time I wrote this, he was slashing 312, 373, 538 with a 910 OPS, an OPS plus of just about 150. He has 10 homers and 33 stakes on the season as well. Again, this was like Thursday I wrote this. This is a guy who in 2019 hit 33 moonshots with 117 stakes. And the year before, in 2018, he had 103 RBI. He's a monster, RBI machine. Could work on defense a little bit, but this league really only cares about hitting. And Bogaerts does that. Hard hit percentage is literally almost half. It's 43, basically. The season, and it's 2% higher than his career average, third highest of his career, and it's only the beginning of June. He's a stud. If you don't appreciate his game or consider him a top shortstop in the game, then you're just flat out wrong. I mean, he mashes baseballs. Him and Devers both hate that they're on the Red Sox, but Bogaerts just give him some appreciation. But that's it for this week's edition of Alex's Analysis. Hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AJulesMK7. Shoot me a DM. Let's talk baseball, fantasy baseball, baseball stats, and remember these guys. And come back next week for some more, for sure.
Yeah. touching on the Bogarts thing, as a Yankees fan, you get to see him 20 times a year.
Yeah.
The dude's absolutely nuts. So if he's available out there,
I mean, he's fantasy owners. He's rostered in 95+% of leagues, but he's just somebody that I want people to pay attention to. Like common fans know his name because he's up there with the Lindors and the Tatises and the Seagers. Like you could argue he's a top 3 shortstop in the game at this point in time.
He does everything right.
Everything, dude. Like I said, he's a shortstop. He has 2 seasons of one of 33 homers, one of like high 20s, but 2 of 100+ ribbies. Like you don't get that production out of a shortstop. He's what he is what everybody thought Gleyber Torres would be.
Right.
I mean, and that's fact.
Yeah.
So,
and touching you mentioned Luis Garcia. I know we talk a lot about Yermin Mercedes and Rookie of the Year. Like Luis Garcia is a legit Rookie of the Year contender. He's
a legit Cy Young candidate, honestly. Yeah. Like he could win Rookie of the Year. Didn't even see this coming, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
So a lot of good stuff there. A lot of good guys to look out for.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens. Keep an eye on those guys. Yeah. And if you want to pick some of them up, hopefully, there's a couple of guys who have kind of flattened out since I talked about them on the analysis, but there's a couple guys. I mean, you talked about Cole Irvin earlier. I mean, there's a couple of guys who have kind of taken off. Longo's still hot. So
John Gant's been doing his thing.
Yeah, exactly. So did you want to do Yankee rant kind of thing?
We'll get into a little Yankees talk.
I don't have anything to say. Yankees stink. Season's over. Better luck next year. Whatever you want to say, go for it. I don't care. You could tell me, don't come to the parade then. I won't, because there's not going to be a parade, dude. They have so many things to work on and change. Like they're done. I'm chalking it up. I don't even want to watch them anymore.
Well, they're I'm in the same boat as you, obviously, Alex. We text back and forth about it, but dude, one thing I'm tired of is Aaron Boone coming out and just when shit goes downhill, acting like nothing is wrong. Like, oh, blah blah blah. He had a bad day, so he'll be all right. Or so and so, they got hit around, but they'll be all right, dude.
Yeah, like we hit into double plays because good teams hit into double plays because guys are usually on base and we hit the ball hard. I can kind of understand that partially, but
well, look at our number.
You hit into double plays because you can't hit with guys on base.
Right.
Dude, my brother was sending me stuff, like Talking Yanks is always posting stuff. I mean, today Luis Severino commences a rehab assignment with Low A Tampa. There's some good news.
But it's like, hold your guys accountable,
I mean, let's here we go. Yankees offense 2021 per game totals. Runs 3.71. That's the worst since 1972. Hits, they average 7.4 hits. That's the worst since 68. Average is 228, worst since 68. Stolen bases 0.2 stolen bases per game, worst since 65. Their Ks average per game 9.3. That's an all-time high.
So clearly, we're not hitting the ball hard and getting on base.
Like, no, we're getting guys on.
Yeah, clearly when we get guys on, shit's not working out.
It's just a double play. You can't hit with guys in scoring position.
And then I saw Talking Yanks posted the other day some statistics about where we stand as far as batting average OBP. So keep in mind, I mean, if you're listening to this and you don't know that much on baseball, there's 30 teams in the league.
Yep.
The Yankees are ranked 26th in batting average, batting 227 as a team right now.
Yep.
They're ranked 13 in OBP, which isn't terrible, batting with a 315 OBP. That's fine. We are getting guys on base, but like I said, we're not getting the job done. Slugging, 23rd out of 30 in the league with a 373 slugging percentage. OPS, which is a huge one. We talk about OPS a lot. 22nd in the league with a 688 OPS. Runs scored, 213 runs scored. That is 24th. And we are dead last in stolen bases with 13 on the year.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of, getting the job done. Like we said, DJ LeMahieu's not doing it. He sets a tone. Boone's given Stanton a day off after, Stanton DHs. Why does he need a day off every other
He doesn't
game?
do anything. He doesn't run. He doesn't do anything. Like, why is he sitting every 3 days? I don't get it.
And we call up Chris Gittens, which I'm
I hope he stays on the team. The Yankees are notorious for just calling a guy up and throwing him back down. I hope he stays on the team.
I hope he continues to hit well like he did in the minors. But like, why did it take so long to send Mike Ford, to get Mike Ford out of there? Like,
I don't know. Like, our expectations for Ford were low, but he was god awful.
It's just we wait until guys are batting 100 and just haven't been doing it, and to get them out of the lineup. Like,
and they have so many things that they can trade for, but that they're not going to get the people that they should get. Because they want to stay under the damn luxury tax or whatever the hell it is. Like, there's no salary cap in baseball, for those of you who don't know, but there is a luxury tax threshold, and you have to stay under it. And if you go over it, you have to pay X amount of millions of dollars or whatever, and a fine or something like that, or whatever it is. The last team to go over the threshold, most recent, the Los Angeles Dodgers. When they do that last year, what'd they do? Won the World Series. Like, it's a price you pay, dude. Who cares?
They went out and signed a Cy Young in the offseason. We don't make those moves.
They traded for an MVP and a Cy Young, and then signed that MVP to a 12-year deal. Then they just follow that up by winning the World Series, follow that up by signing the reigning Cy Young.
We've signed two big names in the past years, and that's been Cole and Stanton.
Well, we traded for Stanton, but still.
Well, yeah, exactly. We traded for Stanton, but we signed Cole. Cole was probably the biggest signing since like 2009 when we brought CC in.
Yeah.
Like,
if not before that, you could argue A-Rod.
We don't make the necessary moves. Like,
no, they go out and they get like that Garrett Cole. They go out and they get the A-Rod, they get the CC, and sign them to a 10-year deal. And then they just say, whatever, we got guys around them. Like, no, go out and get people, man.
To Boone too, like, figure out your lineup, dude. He throws in like different guys in different spots every game. It's like
it's guys not consistent.
They're not going to get comfortable where they're at by being switched around every
I
game.
want the Yankees to go out and sign Trevor Story or trade him. Trade for him. They won't do it. They're not going to do it 100%. No, but I want the Yankees to trade for Trevor Story, whether you got to give up Glaber or Davy Garcia or somebody else. Trade them, because these dudes that you said are untouchable have not been good.
Yeah.
So trade for Trevor Story, sign him to a deal, go over the threshold, win the World Series at some point, maybe. I don't know. Trevor Story and DJ LeMahieu are best friends.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be good together.
And I'm not even worried about a World Series right now. I'm worried about us even making the playoffs.
Well, yeah, right. At this point in time, yeah. Yeah.
It's
because they're not going to.
No. I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, we're 3-7 in our last 10. The starting pitching has been like,
we have a negative run differential for the first time in all year, maybe.
Everyone has just been so lifeless. Like, I feel like we're back to that first like 2 weeks of the season where everyone was like, we're watching Pirates baseball right now.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. We're tied with the Pirates for most games scoring 3 runs or fewer at 33.
It's atrocious.
Shout out Katie Sharp for that stat. Follow her on Twitter at KT Sharp.
But you can't expect to score 3 runs a game and win. Like, that doesn't happen in the major leagues. Your pitchers aren't going to give up no runs every game.
No, it's the big leagues, dude. Guys are going to hit.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but whatever, dude. Yankees are dead.
I'm tired of Boone lying to us and Boone sugarcoating shit. Like,
he's got to go, I think. I mean, I don't know if he has to go. Like, I don't know who has to get fired. If it's Timms, if it's Boone, if it's Cashman, if it's whatever. But something's got to give, man. I mean,
right.
This is me.
On the upside, now we got Sevy making rehab appearances, but then they mentioned Kluber was like tossing the other day, and then they put him on the 60-day IL.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, I saw a beat reporter for the Yankees, Lindsay Adler. She tweeted that Kluber would have been out for 8 weeks or whatever, which is 60 days anyway. So it was just corresponding to make room for Gittens.
Right. So
it's not like there's any development saying that he's not whatever, like he's done. So
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
but at this point, it's like I'm gonna stay tuning into my Brooklyn Nets because that's at least it's watching a winning team.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
but all right. I mean, I got a quick head out, so
yeah,
that'll be it. This is me on June 6th at 12:10 p.m. declaring that the Yankees season is dead and officially over.
Yeah.
So
this is episode 6. Thanks for tuning in, guys, as always.
yeah, we have hoodies that we're wearing right now. I mean, if anybody wants them, slide in our DMs, let us know. We'll get some made and give them to people. Follow us on Twitter at @walkitoff_talkitoff, on Instagram, sorry, at @walkitoff_talkitoff on Instagram. TikTok is walkitoff. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at AJulesMK7. Follow Randy on Instagram at Instagram. You're Randy GRZ, right? Randy Gers, yeah, 28.
28, yeah.
Yeah. So give us a follow. We'll put them on the screen. Give us a follow. Let's talk some baseball. But for now, enjoy your Sundays, everybody. Hope you have a good week ahead. Attack it head on. We'll talk to you next week.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
Deuces.
Be kind.
Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just